Hey, this is Kirk.
And this is Byrd. It's Rusty Byrd, your local Prince William County lover of sports. And today we're lucky enough to have with us two special guests to help cover Prince William County football our preview. We've got Justin Richards of the Prince William County Sports and Entertainment, and everybody's favorite Jay Gholson, voice of Freedom Football and Basketball, and Mr. Prince William County himself. Thanks, guys, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for having me on.
You know,
oh yeah.
You know something I just noticed, Rusty, is when we do things, when we do podcasts in the morning, your voice is slower. So that was mine too.
I'm slower, bro. Let me tell you.
I'm only on my second cup of coffee, but
I'm not a morning person.
Oh, we know that. But anyway, hey, we're all excited. Football season starting, pros, college. I'm going to go to a scrimmage tonight. Rusty, I'm going to go tomorrow to DeMatha and Freedom.
Yep.
Yeah, Jay's calling that.
Yeah, I'll be there. Jay's calling it. So football started. We just want to ask everybody to do us a big favor and subscribe. If you like a video, like it. If you dislike it, thumbs down. And feel free to make comments.
And can we add a Jay Gholson dislike button? I don't think.
Osborne Park.
Hey, if you
our whole show should get a thumbs down because of Jay.
Exactly.
Please feel free to go to the comment section and use the emoji for Jay Gholson. All right, instead of just the overall thumbs down.
We're going to make predictions. Predictions are going to be when I time mark it, because I know you're going to fire some people up with predictions.
And I'm sure whatever Justin says, we'll be giving a thumbs up. All right, let's get into this. All right, guys, let's first kind of cover very briefly. We'll go over some of the layout of the districts and teams. Tell us some of your thoughts on the Cardinal district.
Well, in my opinion, they have some issues at quarterback. I mean, Woodbridge has a new quarterback. Garfield's quarterback transferred to Bishop Ironton, so they're inexperienced at quarterback. Freedom has a starter. He started 2 years ago as a freshman, Tristan Evans. So he's coming back. It's been a couple of years for him. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. Now, Colgan has a good quarterback, and Ryan Westhoff. Ryan's played at Osborne Park, as everybody knows. And so Ryan, in my opinion, Ryan and Quentin Pooley at Forest Park, in my opinion, are the top two quarterbacks in the Cardinal district so far.
Okay.
So far. But my issue with the Cardinal district is just basically most of the teams have inexperienced quarterbacks.
Yeah. Potomac's going to have a new quarterback as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Jay, you mentioned Freedom. You've got Tristan Evans there. We covered a couple Freedom games during the spring season, during the COVID year a couple years ago. I will say what I saw from him, he did impress me, especially as a freshman. He was able to move the ball. And I really think, just to kind of piggyback on what you said, Quentin Pulley is going to be really an exciting player to watch at Forest Park. And, over at Colgan, Coach Reggie Scott taking over his first year there is able to have his quarterback from Osborne Park join him. I certainly think that will help, get things going over at Colgan.
See, Colgan has also, which is good, they have a good receivers. Now you have, of course, you have, Justin Byrd, you have Devin Grant, and then, of course, the running back, you have Thomas Pooley, who rushed for 1,000 yards. I think 1,000 yards at Osborne Park last year. I think he did, Thomas Pooley. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he did have a rush for over 200 yards in a game against Herndon last season.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. So Colgan has a good offense. The question for Colgan is going to be the offensive line and D-line. That's what I'm hearing on the streets. But Colgan, in my opinion, is the top two, top three team in that district.
Oh,
so
wow.
Freedom number one, Colgan's in there, top three, but the rest, I don't know.
All right, so you named two schools. Who's the third for the top three?
Forest Park. You have Pooley.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Blados, offensive line. He's good. So Forest Park is in my opinion, so far, because it's only been 2 weeks, in the season. But I think it'll be Freedom, Colgan, and Forest Park as my top 3 teams in the Cardinal district because of the lack of quarterback experience.
I agree. I tell you, Forest Park, to me, their offensive line, that is going to be a major strength for them. Man, they've got, I think, 4 returning starters, and then they've added some athletes from basketball. I'm very familiar with Nathaniel Wright. I coached him in youth football, and I coached him in middle school. And that young man, started as a freshman last year for Forest Park. And he, he's really going to be a force to it. He's going to be the next big thing for Forest Park. But I think with that line and Pulley, I do think Forest Park should be up there in that top 3. Now, I don't know if it'll be Colgan. I tell you, I don't know what the Woodbridge quarterback situation will be, but I think they've got some talent at Woodbridge. You got a second-year coach. They may start to put some things together. I saw when they played, I mentioned this before, when they played South County last year, and I was actually impressed. They've got that big receiver over there. And I remember when he was in middle school, I coached against him at Lake Ridge. He was a tremendously big kid at middle school. And it was hard to bring down. But so I think Woodbridge could do some work too.
But see, Rusty, you can't really win in this league without a quarterback. And Woodbridge, I remember one year, I think it's 2016 or 2015, Woodbridge, they had a great team, but no quarterback. They went like 3-7. Next year, same players, they get a good quarterback and they go 8-2. You need a good quarterback to win in this league.
Yeah, Woodbridge. With Woodbridge, I guess just hasn't been the same for them since they had Antavius Jackson at quarterback. I mean, they were able to get to the state semifinal against Westfield. Absolutely. And just ever since he left, it's been a bit of a struggle for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what are we? Defense. Does anybody in the Cardinal district, does their defense stand out to you? I thought Freedom clearly was on offense and defensive class of the league last year. What is their defense still going to be as dominant as it's been in the past?
Yes, because you have the transfer TJ Bush from my Bishop Ireton. He is a man among boys. And their DBs, their secondary, is what is EJ Reed, who's a baller. They have a corner, I can't remember his name, but their defense is back from last year, basically, for Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the DBs on their Freedom team, they're fast. But TJ Bush is he's going to be a difference maker for Freedom on that defense. Big time.
He's going to Coastal Carolina, which, by the way, they've started recruiting up here very well. So
yes,
yeah.
Justin,
so I was just
Justin.
I want to ask you. Go ahead.
I would say, Justin, your thoughts on any of the defenses?
Colgan, I think their secondary should be pretty well off. Justin Byrd will play both wide receiver and defensive back. Also returning defensive back Justin Watson. He was second team all district last season. So I would look to Colgan to have some pretty good play in the secondary.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
What do you all, Jay, Justin? What do y'all see from the playoffs? Which teams do you see going to the playoffs? Because too many teams make the playoffs now. But
well, if you're talking
top 3,
if you're talking Division 6, Region B,
right?
The big elephant in the room is going to be Colonial Forge. They have 2 players in the top 50 in the state of Virginia. So my humble opinion, this is my opinion, it's going to be at number 4, I have Battlefield. Number 3, I have Patriot. Number 2, I have Colonial Forge. Number 1, I have Freedom.
Okay.
So it's going to be either at Fredericksburg or at Freedom High School for that championship for Region 6, B. It's going to be either at Fredericksburg or at Woodbridge.
All right. Well, Kirk, you went a little bit ahead. We'll start talking about the playoffs. Let's cover the Cedar Run district so we can get a feel for some of those teams. Because I actually do feel that the Cedar Run district is a little stronger. Yeah, stronger. And so let's cover them. First, let's start with Battlefield. They made it to the state semifinals. Won the district. Only had that one loss. They're gonna have a new quarterback situation there, but it looks like they're just. I tell you, Battlefield and Patriot, they just always look like they're reloading.
But Battlefield lost a linebacker. I forgot his name to a private school.
Yeah.
So let's have Brody Carroll. You have Caleb Woodson and his brother Cole Woodson on the defense. The Battlefield
is it Caleb?
Caleb and Cole.
Caleb Woodson.
Yep.
Yeah. So you have basically for Battlefield, you have a tougher schedule than Patriot. They play Colonial Forge. They play, of course, they play Patriot. So those are two tough games for Battlefield that if they go 8-2, they're going to be, the third or fourth seed.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But Patriot has an easier schedule. Their first test will be Osborne and Battlefield. But Colonial Forge, in my opinion, is a better team than Osborne. So that's why I give Patriot the edge because of an easier schedule than Battlefield.
Okay. Also, I think Patriots, they've got a chip on their shoulder this year. They lost twice to Battlefield last season. And when Jay and Rusty, you both were there with me at Media Day, I could just kind of sense it. And Gabe Bigby's ready. He's just ready to explode this year. He had Jay, you kind of started something. You had Nigel saying that he could cover Gabe without a problem, and Gabe said, "No, I don't think so." You look at the
what
talent.
Jay does.
You look at the talent that Patriot has. I think it's really a coin toss between Patriot and Battlefield, but I wouldn't be surprised if Patriot does take a step ahead of them and come out on top in the Cedar Run this year.
Yeah, no one could cover Gabe Bigby one-on-one. I know Nigel told me he could, but I don't see anybody covering Gabe Bigby. In my opinion, the best quarterback in the Cedar and Cardinal district is Sam Fernandez. And then, of course, Cole Serber. So you have offensive line.
That is a big boy.
Yeah. Serber, you have two. You have Chandler, offensive line. So they have, a lot of returning starters for Patriot. And you're right. 3 in a row to Battlefield. That's tough to be a team 3 times in a row. But Patriot does have an easier schedule than Battlefield.
Okay.
You're talking about because of the Colonial Forge guy. I had a quick question.
Colonial Forge, Kirk, talk to Bill Brown. He's mad because of last year. They're ready. Colonial Forge is ready to take the whole region.
Right.
They're mad.
Just real quick for Hokie Nation and the Wahoos, Caleb with Battlefield. Give us a blurb on him. He's a 6'3", 200 pounds. That sounds like a linebacker, possibly even bigger. Tell me about him real quick, and then let's talk about Cole Serber for the Wahoos.
Well, in my opinion, I said on Facebook, Freedom and Board. In my opinion, Caleb Woodson is the best defensive back in the state of Virginia. He can cover a corner. He can play free safety. I seen him against Freedom, and that game is Freedom where it was a jump ball. He went over the receiver's shoulder, caught the ball, put it over his shoulder, caught it in the reception in the end zone. So he's a lockdown DB.
Yeah.
And tackle.
Yeah. Wait till you see Jordan Bass for Phoebus. He is a bad.
I heard. Yeah.
These ratings are terrible. But and then Cole going to UVA. What is he like? 6'5", 275, 6'6"?
Yeah, me and his dad coached together at Woodbridge in the early '90s. I knew his grandfather also from Woodbridge, but Cole Serber, he's a guard, not a tackle. And yeah, he said he is a man among boys. He's great feet, good blocker. He's a team leader. He said to me, he's ready to win.
Right.
Yeah, he's ready. So I'm very Patriot High School. They're on a mission. Like Justin said, They're mad because of last year they lost to Unity Reed in the playoffs, lost twice at Battlefield. They should have won at least 2 of those 3 games. But they have team chemistry.
Yeah, and I had asked Cole at Media Day, said, you commit to UVA, does that change your mindset at all coming into the season? He said, absolutely not. I mean, he's just ready to work and grind and do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, he's all in.
Well, that's the new trend is they're committing because the classes are full. I mean, almost every school, there's very few in the class of 2023. There's very few players that are uncommitted. Almost all of them are committed, and there's pressure because of spots and things like that. So that's just how it works. But
it's very difficult now. One, with the transfer portal, and we're still dealing with the athletes from COVID that have especially in the 6th year. And so that's going to reduce the number of athletes getting the opportunity to get scholarships for these classes of 22, 23, and even 24.
I think Amari Campbell is going to commit on August 20th or 24th. Amari Campbell from Unity Reed. So he said, he's between West Virginia, Maryland, and North Carolina are his top 3.
Okay.
So he's going to commit next week.
Okay. So who do we like for playoffs in the Cedar Run? Obviously, Battlefield, Patriot.
I think both Osborne and Unity Reed can do some good things this season too. You look at Osborne. Yeah, you lose Jakari Lewis. You've got Nigel Burke and Nick Williams in the secondary that are going to do some good things. Muhammad Taha is taking over at quarterback. He was a wide receiver, but he's confident that he can make things happen with both his arm and his feet. You look at Unity Reed. You've got that linebacking core. They lose, of course, Sean Murphy going to Alabama, but you have Amari Campbell, you have Shane Eller, you have Blake Moore, who's a solid quarterback there. He's got a real solid senior wide receiver, Deshaun Gibson. So Unity Reed, I think, and Osborne, both are gonna, do some good things this year too.
Right, I agree. I mean, I think it's Battlefield, Patriot, 1A, 1B. Osborne, like Justin said, they have athletes. Unity Reed, athletes. The sleeper, again, this is my opinion, the sleeper could be Gainesville. They're young, but they lift, they exercise, they are mature football-wise. And the running back runs a 4.5 Coven Smith. So So the sleeper, in my opinion, is Gainesville.
Right.
Yeah. I think Gainesville.
What?
That's a new school. Where they? All right.
They sold Patriot.
Battlefield and Patriot, right?
Patriot, some of Battlefield, and I think some
Unity
of
Reed.
Yeah.
Unity Reed. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting the way they districted that school. It actually took from a little from Patriot, a little from Battlefield, but also from Osborne Park, Brentsville, and Unity Reed.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's right. Let me. I said this in our preview earlier. I want to ask this: what about the Loudoun County schools, Champ and Freedom? We never mentioned them because they're not Prince William. Freedom traditionally doesn't have a strong football program, but Champ, some they've produced at times. What are your thoughts on those teams? And they weren't too bad last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I think Champ, for one, is going to be Division 4 next year.
No, they're 6.
They're in the Cedar Run this year. No, I think they may be dropping down. I know when they talk about the field process.
You don't think they're all the way down to 4?
Yeah,
do you?
4. Yeah.
That must be because of Light Ridge.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Champ,
interesting.
I saw them play a couple of years ago at Freedom and Woodbridge for a playoff game. It was like 63-7. So I mean, they had this one guy going to ECU, wide receiver. I forgot his name. But Champ, yeah, you can win there. I mean, Champ, if they have a decent,
yeah.
Well,
they can win.
you look at what Champ did last year. They lost to Battlefield only by 3 points. That was a 27-24 Battlefield win. They got wins over Unity Reed and Osborne Park. Kept it somewhat close against Osborne. They lost that game 33-24. They did get blown out by Patriot. So Champ finished their season last year with 4 straight losses. but yeah, looking back at what they did, they beat Colgan, they beat Unity Reed, they beat Osborne Park, and they also beat Briarwood. So 4-6 record for them last year.
Yeah. And then Freedom South Riding, that they don't do a whole lot, do they? In football?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. They do a lot in baseball, but let's see.
State championship in baseball.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about Brittsville, Division III?
Now, the game in Manassas Park, so they have a 9-game schedule this year, unless they find somebody who's available.
Okay.
Now, for VHSL points, I don't know how that affects them. If they go 9-0, do they get less points than a team that's 9-1 or 8-2, whatever? But I saw them play last Saturday in the scrimmage, the black and orange scrimmage, and they're a big team. And they have numbers. So I know, say it again, Kirk. They will beat Phoebus this year in football. It'll be at the Ville.
Okay.
They're my pick for state championship. Is Brentsville.
Oh,
Because they
man.
have a quarterback, they have a good running back, a good defense, and they're not scared. A parent told me on Saturday, said, Jay, our bar is Phoebus. That's our bar.
Well, they shouldn't be scared. I mean, yeah, they're
Well,
good.
not scared, the first time playing, not scared, just maybe nervous, not knowing the playoff environment. Yeah, it's a different mindset. Now, when you've been there and you lose, you want to kick butt.
Well, the playoff environment down in Hampton, I mean, it's not like it used to be when Rusty and I were in school. I mean, it's the games. The games are pretty partially. I mean, that's not a hostile environment. So, but I mean, Phoebus is absolutely loaded. I mean, they've got D1 Power 5 guys, but more importantly, they've got really good football players. I mean, I think
They lost some players. They're not all back from last year. They've lost some. Brittsville,
they have a transfer quarterback, and this is about Prince William County. So, but they've got a transfer quarterback from Nansemond River, who I believe was a 3-year starter, and got a great tailback. So yeah, we'll see. I mean,
but all my chips on the table for Brittsville.
Why do you have them coming? Why do you have them coming to Brentsville?
Well, Phoebus is going to lose to Oscar Smith. That's one loss right there.
Okay, that's it. Nobody else can touch them.
Well, I think at 10-0 at the time, before Manassas Park folded, I felt that 10-0 Brentsville would host a 9-1 Phoebus team based on the schedule, because Brentsville plays mostly Class 4 and Class 5 teams.
Yeah, Phoebus plays a lot of Class 5.
Huh?
Phoebus plays a lot of Class 5s.
They're going to lose, but they're going to lose Oscar Smith, so they're going to lose that game. They will not beat Oscar Smith.
They have a chance. So anyway, let's switch back to Prince William. So you like Brent? So you must like Brentsville to win the whole thing.
All my chips are on the table.
Okay.
Well, you look at what Brentsville did last season, and for Coach Lauren White to have the season he did his first year at the helm there was pretty impressive. Player to watch is going to be Nico Orlando at running back. Bryce Jackson graduated, so Orlando's going to be the guy to fill that void. On the defensive side of the ball, you have linebacker Langston White, who's going to make some good things happen. And then you look at Tyler Nix, their offensive lineman, player of the year last year in the Northwestern District. I mean, you almost never hear of an offensive lineman being named offensive player of the year. So, I mean, he's something special on their offensive line. And so, yeah, I think they're certainly primed for a deep run.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think we're on predictions. How about, well, the only other game in town is 6, right? Because we don't have any 5 teams. So Jay, step up to the plate. I mean, are we all in agreement that Freedom Woodbridge is a top team?
Yes, because they have 5 returning all-region, all-state players. They have an experienced quarterback. The running back's only a sophomore, Jeff Overton. Rushed for over 1,000 yards last year as a freshman. The game that's going to be the big game to determine if they host Battlefield or Patriot or Colonial Forge. It's going to be the third game of the year when they play Stonebridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Stonebridge tonight.
Yeah,
and that's
go ahead.
that game, the Freedom Stonebridge game. That is a game that we will be broadcasting live. Prince William Sports Entertainment. All the games are on our Facebook page, so you'll be able to watch it live there.
Do they sell out? Do they
Yes.
sell out? All right, good. I'll be down there. Rusty, I'm staying the night that night. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, I get the master suite. Y'all gotta couch it or something.
Yeah.
All right. So Jay, what do you think about Freedom Woodbridge?
They are the best team right now. Again, they could change weekly, but they're the best team in the Cardinal District. No, I'll say this. For region, the whole region, Region B, which is the Cardinal District, the Cedar District, and the District Commonwealth District for Colonial Forge. Freedom's
Okay.
number one.
Do you see them losing anybody?
The only game that I just have a question mark on, just a question mark, I'm not overly confident, is Stonebridge.
Okay. So you're worried about Stonebridge, but you think they're going to beat Oscar Smith.
Oh, they'll be yeah. That's an easy game. Yeah.
Hold on. You're saying Oscar Smith is easy and Stonebridge is a challenge?
Stonebridge has beaten Highland Springs in the past, right? Recently.
Yeah.
They beat them in
Never
they beat them in the semis. Okay. I think so.
Wow.
The part of the issue I think is that look overall, what do we think is the strongest Division 6 region in the state?
Cedar.
Region. You think the region? You think so?
It's their region. It's y'all's region.
I don't know.
Who do you think, Rusty?
What the region it has Westfield. I believe is that D, the one that has the Westfield, Centerville, Madison. That even that district makes them. Yeah.
I agree with Jay. I agree with Jay.
There's one team in Fairfax that's going to be good this year. That's Fairfax High School. Maybe Centerville.
Madison Robinson will be
Look,
good.
Madison, Robinson, I think South County. And they're in the other region. I believe they might be C. But I think South County, TC Williams. I think they're going to be the Fairfax schools in Alexandria. I think that they're going to be okay.
All right, so
I think they play a strong brand of football.
I want to
schools.
So wherever we are in time, where are we on time?
We're a little around 30. No, we're right about 2 minutes. We're about 29 minutes.
All right, so at 29 minutes, Hampton Roads people, pipe up. So I want to get all three of your takes on. All right, so Jay is realistically, Jay, you're not just talking smack. You think Freedom Woodbridge is going to beat Oscar Smith, but they may not beat Stonebridge. What do you think, Justin?
Well, you look at what Oscar Smith has done the last few years. I think both games are going to be a challenge. As far as prediction goes, I would say they're more than they would more likely beat Stonebridge than Oscar Smith.
Okay, but do you think they can win the whole thing?
Absolutely.
Do you think they will? You got to go on the record.
Well, you see, it wouldn't be fun if I totally agreed with Jay. So here, just for the sake of argument, I'll say that the team to come out of Prince William County and possibly win it will be the Patriot Pioneers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So that's Division 6 also. All right.
Yeah.
Rusty, what about you?
Well, I think coming out of Region B would be Patriot. I don't think they're going to have enough. Now we're talking Oscar Smith. Like any of these teams may not make it this far. You're talking about the state semifinals, but I believe Oscar Smith would be on track. From what I understand, they have to rebuild their defensive line. But I think Oscar Smith, by the time they get 10, 11, 12 games under their belt, I think they'll be rolling. Their offensive line is amazing. It's just the defense will have to catch up. They lost a lot of starters there. But I think you're going to see Oscar Smith in the title game again against a always understated but surprisingly strong Fairfax team. And that Fairfax team, I think it could be Centerville.
Oh, okay. That's what I said.
In the semifinal. Is that
That'd be the final. That would be the final. There's going to be
right.
They've rigged it so there will always be a Fairfax High School
right.
in the state finals.
Thank you.
You think it'll be Madison?
No, I said no, Centerville.
Centerville.
Oh, Centerville. Okay. All right. And then you are piping blazing that Brentsville is going to be the state champions.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, Phoebus. Jay Gholson's got you losing in Brentsville.
Put down, Phoebus. You're gonna lose.
I remember the last time you said that. You said they were going to lose by 40.
All dislike buttons. Just hit the Jay Gholson dislike button. Look, Rich, Justin, any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
So we've made our predictions. I'll say what I said at the end of media day. Me being a guy who covers specifically Prince William County, whether it's Freedom, Battlefield, Brentsville, Patriot, or if somehow another school surprises us, I just really want to see a Prince William County team win the state championship this season.
Same here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right. And since we don't have any Division VI programs in Hampton, Virginia, they're all Division V now. So I'm definitely rooting for Prince William County to win Division VI. And we'll cover 757 later. But thank you. That sounds great. Kirk, any thoughts?
Well, for Oscar Smith fans, I'll comment when I see Freedom Woodbridge against DeMatha, which may not be very fair because DeMatha is a private school and they are able to recruit. But we'll see.
It might be ugly, but hey, you gotta play.
It should be. Yep.
No, don't say that. Freedom's got some talent. Yeah. And that's why they're playing this. That's why they're doing the scrimmage to get them ready for the season. I love whenever there's a challenge like that. I remember when Woodbridge we had Deshaun Hand and they scrimmaged DeMatha, and DeMatha handled them, but it was good for, but it was still good to see that. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you guys doing this Prince William County preview. We will maybe try to check in after a couple of weeks into the season and see how right or wrong Jay Gholson is. And then we'll also be checking up on the rest of the state to see where they land and progressing with Oscar Smith and the Fairfax County schools. Thanks again. And please take the time to comment on Jay's predictions and and then we're going to keep working hard, Prince William County.
Let's do the Prince William Challenge. Let's see how many views we can get. Let's see how spirited you guys are, because when we do a Hampton Road show, man, they don't have pro sports down there. So high school sport is king. So Prince William County, by the way, LC Byrd, we interviewed their coach. She's very social media savvy, and they're just watching the video like crazy. But let's see how Prince William does. We're
going to be previewing. We're doing Prince William. We got a Fairfax County preview coming up. We're doing 804 Southwestern Virginia, and then the 757 preview. And let's see which preview gets the most views. All right.
Okay.
All right, and if I could just throw out a plug before we wrap it up here.
Absolutely.
Prince William Sports and Entertainment will have games just about every week throughout the regular season. All of them streamed to our Facebook page. Check it out. It's Prince William Sports, spelled with a Z at the end, so SPORTZ, and Entertainment.
Okay.
Good deal.
And Jay, why don't you tell people where they can find you if they want to buy or sell a home?
Jay Gholson, Rematch Executives, 703-517-8640.
Yeah, you might get some prank calls.
I know. And if if Jay sells or buys helps you buy a home, please use the Kirk and Byrd coupon code.
Jay's got a kickback. We get 10% of his commission.
So Jay can give us like $5
Or dinner.
every time. Or dinner every time someone mentions the Kirk and Byrd Show, and and Jay helps them. Jay's going to buy us dinner. All right.
That's a deal.
All right.
All right.
So Jay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks again.
Right.
This is
Thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, Justin Richards, Jay Gholson, with the Kirk and Byrd Show. We are out.